Hello YouTube, it is Damien. It is episode 9 of Life Without Grealish, and today we have the start of season 2. We have Spurs on the opening day at Villa Park, and it is a day where we will welcome in a lot of new signings, players that you will know, players that you would have seen in saves, and players that I'm excited to use because I've never used them, and they look the goods. We have also sold on a few players as well. It's going to be interesting to see what's happened at a few of the other clubs. And of course, none to forget, we have to go through what happened in pre-season. A few things did, and there's a couple of guys that have stood out, and I expect a bit from pre-season coming into the league. And yeah, look, first thing I am going to say is that the substitute bench has gone from 9 to 7, and that has hurt me. I really think FM should just be keeping it as 9. Because I believe in real life they're going to keep it as 9, but you're still only going to use 3 subs. But yeah, I don't know why in Season 2 it always goes from 9 to 7. It makes it very hard to fit people on the bench. And there is, without a doubt, at some point this year, going to have some key figures that are going to be upset here because I've changed the squad quite a fair bit. That is down to a couple of the players coming in needing a couple of things to have happened. B, the squad did need a little bit more depth and younger depth according to the club vision, and that is where I'm going to start. If you go into the club vision, that's all stayed the same. I wasn't able to change any of that, but because we started a new year, or a new updated club culture after I signed, the negotiation that you do at the end of the season to confirm the one for next year. I was able to sign Arias. I will confirm that I did spend 7 mil on Arias to be a right back. It just made sense. But as you can see there, where, signing people for the under 23, signing players under the age of 23 for the first team was, disappointed or very negative, which was stopping me signing Arias last episode. It is now pleased because of the signings that we have made. Did not sign people over the age of 28. Arias is the only one, play attacking football, generally what we do. And I'm hoping to tick both of these off as well. But more importantly, they want us to be competitive in the Champions League. We do have an automatic group stage spot. I'm going to leave that, though, for next episode. I'm going to leave that as you'll see the draw, you will see a league, and the first Champions League game is what I'm thinking of doing next episode. Premier League top half finish. I think that is about the mark of where Aston Villa should be striving for with the squad they've had in real life, and definitely for the squad that we have. FA Cup quarterfinal is going to be dependent on who we draw. Cabaret Cup quarterfinal, I don't particularly care about the competition. The board does. So we'll do our best. As you can see with the finances, we still have 23 mil to spend out of the 40-something million. I'm going to tell you right now, that was negative payroll, and that budget was down to about 200k not long ago. I've made a couple of sales that have mattered in terms of the budget. In terms of everything else here as well, I think it's important to note Manchester City did play on the weekend already, and they did win on the opening day 5-0 against West Ham. Also to note, they did win the Champions League 4-3 in extra time. So Jack Grealish has gone, he has started, he has scored on the opening day, and he played in the Champions League, if I'm able to go see that as well, Champions League final. So life without Grealish here at Villa has been good, but life for Grealish at City has also been grand, as it's netted him a Champions League goal, and of course, a Champions League. Just by the way, what a comeback, by the way. 3-0 down, 82nd, 89th, 90th, 106th from Phil Foden as well. They scored 3 goals from the 80th to the 90th minute to go into extra time. If that happened in real life, that would be one of the greatest, if not even a better comeback that's come from a Liverpool fan than probably Istanbul. The only thing that I'd say Istanbul have is look at the team that's come back there. Grealish, De Bruyne, Phil Foden scored. Mendy's no mug, obviously, who's also scored as well. You got Gabriel Jesus, Sterling. Compare that to the Liverpool squad of 05 was really, Gerrard? Really? Like, we had Milan Barros play up top, and, we had Vladimir Smica on the park, and Jerzy Dudek was in goals, and, But, that's a discussion for another day, but that's a pretty insane comeback and win there by City. But, look, Jack Grealish, we may give him stick that he didn't have the best year in the Prem last season. This year he started with a goal, and he did score in the Champions League final in a comeback victory for City as well. So, credit to Jack, but we're here to more talk about us, and I think we're ready to have a chat. First things first, if you look at the fixtures, we've got a very good start. I feel like that's absolutely a necessity. We've got Champions League football, that we get off to the best start possible. From this game, outside of the Spurs game, we should be looking to win every single one of those other games. And the reason why I've highlighted until there is that, for me, if we can win all those games, get into that Carabao Cup third round, who I don't particularly care about, we will definitely be in and around the top four. And that means that when we get into the Champions League games and some of these harder games where rotation might be a little bit of a struggle, we definitely have to rotate. Like, look at December. You got Liverpool and City United back-to-back. We also got, Leicester, Arsenal, City and Chelsea. Like, the whole of October is difficult. Throw in 2 Champions League fixtures in that. I've got to rotate somewhere. But yeah, look, if we can get off to a good start, I think it's important. And I think we can, and we definitely have the squad too. In terms of pre-season, should be very, very happy with it. The one thing I will say is we're conceding goals against, USL Championship sides, not even MLS sides, pretty regularly. And then we played Chelsea, who do not feel like a mugged side at all. Might be some spoilers into the signings, but we'll definitely get into it. But that Chelsea side isn't the worst side you're ever going to see, is it? Reece James is there, Alonso's there. Maybe they don't have the best keeper in there, but Jorginho played, Kovacic played, Bakayoko's not the worst mug. Barkley, probably not their first choice, but Havertz and Batshuayi is not the worst. To go pump that side 4-1 was huge. We then pumped Fulham 4-0. We played Watford in a Troy Deeney special. Watford did have a couple of weird players playing for them because it was a testimonial, but we did beat them 4-0 as well. And look, I am just going to say, you'll see a name pop up a lot. Lou Barry loved the pre-season goal, and I am going to touch on him. As you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 5 goals in a heap of games, but mainly as an inverted winger that he was scoring. I look at him and go, you know what, boys? He's in great form. I'm so tempted to start him. I understand that potential is a little bit whatever. I think that's down to the fact that, at Ipswich, he didn't play the most. And I feel like that's the same with a couple other players I need to talk about. I feel like if he comes in, he plays and he develops, and he already looks good enough at 18 to come and do a job, I think he would be decent. Now, we don't have to necessarily talk about him in terms of him playing this game, but I definitely think as we rotate, Lou Barry's going to get minutes. Now, let's get into the big nitty-gritty of everything, and you might only see one name there, and that's Thiago Almeida. That is not the reason. He's not the only signing. A lot of it happened early, and I had to do it early to avoid others. I'm just going to put it out there. James Ward-Prowse was one of the guys we had to bid in for. Look where he's gone to. He's gone to Liverpool for 30-odd million. He wanted 100k a week to come to play for me as a star player, and even then Liverpool bid the same amount and went and got him. I think he would have been sensational for us, and it just shows how good Liverpool are. But as you can see, if you go by the dates, a couple of important players. You know what? Callum McBride has the potential. He has the future. For me, though, he's a bit too raw for me to ever really use in this sort of save. And the matter of what bid we got was ridiculous. At the end of the day, he even said that he'd rather join Brighton. I talked to him to say, hey, do you want to not? Look, it is 6.75 million guaranteed. So it was like 4 mil up front with a couple of mil over clauses. And then if he goes and he plays one game for Northern Ireland, it's another 2 mil. When it's Northern Ireland, surely he does in the next couple of years, as long as he develops. It's going to be 12.5 mil. To sell a 17-year-old kid for 12.5 mil in the Premier League, yeah, I might come back to buy him in the bum if he turns into a great player, but, whatever. We also needed to make money very late in the window. As you can see, look, both of these 1st of the 7th and my signings was done on the 20th of the 7th. And the only reason we made this signing is because one player was just saying we haven't done enough in the midfield role, and I couldn't believe it. But Maximilian Meyer, going back to Schalke, I think that's a great story. They paid 10.5 million, which was his value, to get him on a free and then sell him on for profit. Unreal, love it. But the big one here to Schalke was Mr. Traoré. Now, look, he did play 21 times for me. 18 of them off the bench. Did score four goals. But I'm going to get the same thing out of Lou Barry. And that's what I was trying to emphasise with the Lou Barry one as well. Is that I think we're going to get the same sort of result from Lou Barry. And if that's my third choice, you've got Ollie Watkins here too. And we've signed a couple of wingers, which even like Trezeguet might be struggling for minutes, which is a big one, but you'll see why. Look, I just think that, to get him out for 25 mil, which is profit, and his value was 20, and I still got 25 mil from Schalke, I think that's absolutely incredible piece of business for us. And yeah, look, Thiago Almeida is there, but we may end with him because we're going to go into here. We're going to go by date of signing, and it all started with one big man out on the left-hand side. Newcastle got relegated. They offered Alan Saint Maxim, a player I've never used on FN, a player that in real life I love to watch. I watch Newcastle games mainly to see this guy run at people and put them on skates. When he gets going in real life, no one can touch him, and I hope it's the same for us here at Aston Villa. He has not played a preseason game for me. Oh, sorry, I lie. He's played maybe one or two because he went away in the Olympics. The Olympics literally just finished, and it all came back today. Because of that, I'm very tempted to not play him, but because we got Spurs, I'm probably going to play him. But yeah, for me, Alan St. Maximin, huge, perfect. I think he fits the bill. I said we needed a left winger, 19 dribbling, 16 first touch, speed, agility, great natural flair, inverted winger on attack, Leon Bailey on the right, him on the left, Bundia in the middle doing bits. By the way, Bundia rejected 60 mil from Real Madrid, asked him what was the problem, he wanted a wage rise. Easiest, 90k a week on a contract I've ever put in my life. Danny Ings up top, that's your front four. I think that is unreal. Arias, as you know, he's come in for 7 mil, he still looks very, very good. We have a new coaching staff in here as well, and we'll get to that in a second. And then Jay Allsop I signed mainly because Southampton didn't knock in his contract to get him with a compensation deal, which is like 1.7 mil if everything hits. I just think if he hits his physicals, and those physicals may look raw, I had a guy called Lars at SFB with those physicals. Everything turned out to be 15. They grow mentally. 16 to like 18, physicals just go rapid. I think that he's got the natural tackling, natural work rate, and natural teamwork, and he makes a naturally great decision that he will be able to bomb up and down the park. Once his physicals get going, you work on his marking and positioning, and I think he's going to be a pretty insane right back. Now, he may not even get a game in the whole entirety of this save, right? But if I can give him some game time and bleed him in, he might be decent, Jay Allsop, and I think he could be really good. But the two signings I'm really excited for is Contra de la Fuente. I've never had on FM. He's a bit of a wonder kid. He's usually at Barcelona, because that's generally where he was. And then in the database, he obviously moved to Marseille in real life. Now, I've never used him. Every time he was at Barcelona priced him out of a move, and then eventually used to just release him on a free. But by that stage, he's already gone and stopped his development. He was never a world beater. And I've seen him on some databases where Barca have used him, and he turns into a world beater. And I have seen on some databases that if you somehow got him early enough or loaned him in for 4 so years, he turns into a world beater. For me, at 20 years of age, inverted winger backup on either side. He could also play as a winger if he ever play like that. He can also play up top as an advanced forward. Like if there's injuries and whatever, this guy can do it. I think he's pretty nutty to have. Very, very good physicals. Knows when to knock the ball past the opponent. Went away with the USA. He had a very good Olympics. To pick him up for 3.5 million with that potential, insane. And part of what the board wants to do. And then the midfielder, I'm very excited to have. Mohamed Kudus. We actually bought 4 mil up front. Over clauses will be 10 and then will be 12 over time. The man from Ajax, I cannot wait to use. He had a storming pre-season as well. Now, we've changed the role slightly. He's playing roaming playmaker, and I'll tell you why. Because this guy, when he gets going, like St. Maxim, leaves people on skates. The Ghanaian 21-year-old was a wonder kid until I signed him, but that's fine. My scouts rated him at 5-star. Everyone's rating him at 4-star. I think that's down to the fact that his form towards the end of his Ajax career was a bit aware. But I think this guy, the Ghanaian international, is going to be massive for us. He looks like, in pre-season, absolute baller. If you look at his form, he, even in the games where he was quiet, there was highlights where he would get going and he'd have a shot that just go over the bar or something like that. He just looks good, and hopefully he has a good game out here today. I've never used him. Another player that I've seen that usually develops into an absolute monster, and I feel like he just suits what we needed. We needed a midfielder that could run at people from deep, take the pressure off Bundia just trying to create everything, because the likelihood of Bundia getting 19 goals and 17 assists this season, unlikely, right? But if I can get someone else that helps him create, that's huge. He's going to be going down the left-hand side. He might even overlap, St. Maxim. He may even drive all the way down the right-hand side, but with him in the middle of the park, with Douglas Luiz in the box-to-box covering, I think that's unreal. Look at his stats. Natural dribbler. Quick as anything, the agility, great balance. He's got good stamina and strength for it as well. He's only going to get better. I think this guy will mentally develop into a monster for playing in the Premier League this season, the next couple of years. And I think we've got an absolute world beater in on dirt cheap, and I think we're going to love it. Lucky last, main reason we signed Thiago Maida, we panicked. St. Maxim wanted midfield cover. Hence why we've signed a few midfielders. Condra, Kudos. I was like, oh, that's enough. St. Maxim was still upset. So when you have one of your key players upset, that's a new signing, you do try to fit it in. I'm telling you right now, I was like, who's cheap? I was like, I can get him for 9 mil, done. See you later. Off we go. I would use him as an inverted winger, but we've signed LeCondra, we've got Trezeguet, we've got Lou Barry that can play out there, we've got Ollie Watkins that we know can do a job as well. For me, he's the backup to Bundia. shadow striker through the middle. He's superb. He's going to get minutes to me off the bench. I'm going to play him as many games as possible. He actually wants to be an important player in 2 years' time. I see him being that. And out of all the signings I made, as much as this one was panic, this is the one with the highest ceiling. I know my webcam's going a bit dark because it's a bit dark in here. I'll flip the light on as the game starts. But yeah, for me, he's the one with the highest ceiling. And I feel like Thiago Almeida could be the guy that could really, really do the job. Now, we go into the tactical meeting here against Spurs. This is what I perceive is my best 11. It is Martinez in goals because I haven't signed a keeper. There is money now for a keeper, but I don't think I will just yet. Arias, Kera, Diallo, and Mings. It's the same back four as last year. Kudos in the Roman playmaker role with Douglas Luiz, who has just been growing insanely amounts. And the Brazilian international, for me, is going to have an outstanding year and just develop more. Bailey, who scored 18, 19 goals last season. Budia scored 19 goals last season. St. Maxim, that you know, is going to cut it at the level. And I think he's going to be fantastic. And Danny Ings up top. Your bench would be Matty Cash, Konsa, Bergard. I just want to bleed him in because I feel like as much as like Allsop's one for the future, this guy develops into probably one of my better centre-backs. Armada, Lafrente, and Ollie Watkins. However, Danny Ings not 100% today. And Sanson not 100% today either. I'm going to get John McGinn to the bench. Trezeguet is actually missing out. Lou Barry I want to get into so bad into this team. And Lafrente's just come back from international duty, so I am going to do that as well. The rest I'm going to risk, like St. Maxine just come back from international duty. I'm going to risk him here. He might get a bit jaded, but that's fine. But yeah, that's my best team and bench, bar Lou Barry. But I'm hoping to give Lou Barry, Almeida, a chance to just, get their debuts out the way very early on as well. And then we'll wait and we'll see how we go. But yeah, that is going to be the team. I think it's a pretty star-studded team. If they come back jaded, by the way, then yeah, apparently Thiago wants the number 10. You're not going to get the number 10. And Kudos should get the number 8 or the 6. He doesn't have it. 23, my number, man. You're my guy. Lou Barry, I can't even give him the 14 because Tilio wanted it. And I can't even go 7 or 11 because Ollie Watkins got the 11. Alright, St. Maxim's going to wear a number in honour of a player that I do have a soft spot for. Balotelli, mate. Get the Balotelli on. Lou Barry, I can't even give you 99 because someone has the 99. No, alright. So 99 there, and Almeida, I'll give you the number 15 because that's an actual squad number that you kind of see. Alright, no problems, no dramas. Kudos making his debut, St. Maxi making his debut, and hopefully give a couple more off the bench their debuts as well. In terms of Spurs, they're going to have a very good team. I am going to flick the light on in a second. Do apologise, I didn't realise I was going to get that dark this quick in this room without the lights on. I do apologise. I will show my beautiful, beautiful face. I do lie. It's not beautiful. Anyway, if you are enjoying the content, go give it a like. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel. What do you think of the signings before we get into this? Am I going to have as good as a year of last year? Will I finish in the 4 again? Or should we just aiming to finish like 8th, 7th, 6th, something like that? Anyway, we are going to go do what we need to do. They've got Loris in goals, Milinkovic, Romero and Sanchez, Doherty and Regulon, Holgerberg and Lascelles. So Twaven's here. Interesting signing. Florian Twaven. How much did they pick him up for? I don't like clicking on players before the game because I feel like they score. 10 million, that's actually cheap because he was at Tigres. Heung-min Song and Harry Kane is up top. It's a pretty solid side, that. I'm not going to lie. What happened to the press? Fair enough. Didn't want to do it. There we go. All right. But we have got a pretty good team out there. For me, Danny Ings, by the way, is playing with like a broken, fractured wrist. He suffered in training, but he's got the bandage on it. I feel like in a couple of these games, if I can, I will rotate him out for Lou Barry. Preparation's complete. He is back and available for training. Yeah, he is, but we're not going to play him. Anyway, that's our team out there. I'm going to flip the light on and hopefully get a good result. But there we are. Apparently they've already played. Oh, they might have played maybe like a Campgain Cup game or... No, they would have played in the... They won the FA Cup, didn't they? So they would have played in the Community Shield. Anyway, Villa, Spurs, big game, huge game. Can we go do it? Hopefully we can. It's going to be us in our normal Villa colours and Spurs in the white. And away we go. And hopefully with these new signings, the back four that's remained relatively unchanged. That's a quick highlight, Damien. There we are. Hopefully we'll be all right. Anyway, Sanchez is going to win that and heads over. 6 minutes in, first highlight Spurs. That's okay. This is a pretty big first day. If you tell me right now we start this game with a draw, it's a good start. Anyway, Emi Bundia and Leon Bailey know how to link up. And Leon Bailey with the ball. Bundia's still there. Puts the ball in back stitch. St. Maxine knocks down. Kudos loves the left foot hit from what we've seen in pre-season. So does Douglas Luiz. And they build up these two. Douglas Luiz. Kudos. ball. Bailey, Ings, fires wide, was great movement. And that's what you'll get with Mohamed Kudus throughout the whole year, is that he'll pick passes, he'll spray the ball around left and right, he'll drive at people, shoot from distance, he'll do it all. And that's all I want from the Ghanaian international. The young kid is given license to roam around and just play make, mate. And that's it. Leon Bailey from distance, probably too far out to trouble Loris, or to be fair, it was a great save. And it's 26 minutes played. It is still 0-0, and it's another corner. And here we are. It's Leon Bailey, ball in, cleared away by Heung-min Song, and as far as Mings, and that will be it. Pretty happy so far. Another corner. Leon Bailey again with Emi Bundia. Bundia now, top of the box. Kudus, one touch. Hits it. Loris, what a save. Has denied Kudus an opening day special. Diallo, St. Maxim, looks to drive inside. Will he have a dig? Instead, he looked for Kudus. I would have rather him shoot, and that is the highlight. Been the better team here. Definitely the more creative side. We haven't dominated the ball, but we've been way more creative. 40 minutes on the clock. No goals yet to speak about, but time ticks away. And at half-time, as we approach it with no highlight, it is 0-0 here. I don't mind that. I'm happy with the performance. Start the second half, the team that deserves a goal. Anyway, ball played back here to Martinez. We play our football. Diallo now. Back to Martinez. He looks for St. Maxim's feet. Great kick out. Kudus. This is where he loves it. Driving at people. Danny Ings in front of him. Needs to pick a pass. Beats another. What a run. Douglas Luiz now goes for goals. Falls to St. Maxim for an opening day debut. I don't think Douglas Luiz meant it. I think it was an effort. Great play from Kudus, by the way. Mohamed running at people, driving at people. He creates things when it happens. But in the end, it's St. Maxim on his debut. The man from Newcastle has come up and scored our first goal of the season. And there we go. It was a deflected shot that hit Lo Celso and fell to him. But the great touch and finish from the inverted winger. And it is 1-0. And it's a corner. It's Emi Bundia. He finds his way to Leon Bailey. Out to Diallo. Emi Bundia. Diallo. Bailey again. Drives inside. Beats a couple. Effort blocked. Falls to that man yet again. A man that was wanted by a whole heap of clubs. A man that was wanted by Real Madrid, no less. A man that scored 19 goals and 17 assists last season has started his account in game number 1. Emi Bundia on the volley. A little bit lucky yet again. Loris can't do much about that. It's 2-0, and we are cruising to an opening day victory here at home against Spurs at Villa Park. And that's exactly where we want to be. And here we are. Bundia chips one back stick. St. Maxim! It's going to be ruled off for offside. It was a great free kick. Why is that so hard to say, Damien? A great free kick, back stick to St. Maxim with a looping header that was perfect. Unfortunately, he's just straight offside. Did look offside, to be fair, live, and it was. All three of them getting caught off, but a great header nonetheless. And this is what's going to be happening, boys. We're pretty happy. Anyway, we are 2-0 to the good. I am going to make 2 changes here. St. Maxim's going to come off, and we are going to give our meter an opening day debut. We are also going to get Kudus off and get Johnny McGinn in, but he's going to go in and play the Mazada on support. And we might swap these two around, actually, as well. And there we are. Time ticks away, 2-0 to the good. And I really loved how things have gone, but I am going to make one more change. It's not Danny Ings' day. Lou Barry is going to come and get a taste of Premier League football as well, late doors here. It's a throw-in, though, picked off by Leon Bailey. He drives inside, still going Leon Bailey. Still going in the end. If it wasn't for a great save from Loris, would have been another one of those goals. He did win goal of the year last year as well, by the way. And I might show you that goal, actually, considering one goal of the year. But yeah. Anyway, Mings, Douglas Luiz, something for next episode. Mings, Emi Bundia, still going. Maybe he will go for a goal. Instead, it's Arias. It's McGinn. Emi Bundia, touch and blocked. Falls back to, I think it was McGinn who he fires at Loris. Actually, it was Arias. And in the end, a goal right now for Spurs would be totally against the run of play and undeserved, but it would change this game. Anyway, Doherty now. Twaven. Ball into the channel. Picked off by Diallo. Mings now. Can't afford to lose it in here. Gets pressed. Gives it to Douglas Luiz. Can we play out? He looks for Lou Barry. He doesn't present. And now it's Harry Kane for the first time running at us. And Harry Kane now. Twaven. Their first attack. And it's in. And it's the first thing Spurs have done. And we've conceded. 75th minute. We're a long way from home. We've gone from 2-0 to 2-1. And a little bit of panic sets in. Because we've played literally perfect. We got pressed in the end. That ball there from Tyrone Mings, if he's looking for Barry, has to go over the top. You have to send him through. Because worse than that happens, it goes to the keeper. and we reset. Their second shot on target, their first shot on target this half, we've absolutely dominated them. They have a 0.1 expected goal ratio, and it's 2-1 in a crazy game. Time ticks away though, no point changing the system here because I do feel like we're dominating. Maz will stay on the front foot, and there's a highlight here. It's Arias, it's Tilio, it's Arias. He looks for Barry, good touch from the kid. Yes, it is. Beats one, Bundia's with him. Emi Bundia to icing on the cake, he's hit the post. Would have been the sealer. And now if there's a highlight for Spurs, I'll be ruining that miss. But as it stands, there is no highlight. We win 2-1. Spurs are ridiculously lucky to even score. The back four had a pretty good day out. The boys had a pretty good day out. And in the end, Spurs were demolished. And unlike City, who, scored a really, really late goal to kill us in a game very similar at Villa Park last season, we hold on against Spurs this time around. We start the opening day with a win. The new signings have been blended in. I think we are on for a really, really, really good year. From Damo and everybody else here, I'll see you next time. I'll deal with those Courtney House dealings in the end. I'm going to take that $5.25 million bid and, maybe if Fulham really want him, pay 6. But yeah, from Damo and everybody else here, I'll see you next time. If you enjoy the episode, you like the signings, go give it a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel. And next time, we'll have the Champions League group stage draw. We'll have a league game and the Champions League game back-to-back. 2 games, a group stage draw. It'll be a banging episode for episode, 10? And yeah, from Damo and everybody else here, with Life Without Grealish. I'll see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.